What's up guys, it's Hunter back with another video helping you make successful moving pictures for the World Wide Web, aka make better videos for the internet. In this video, we're talking about something that's super fun and super exciting, camera settings. Now I know y'all are excited to talk about something as exciting as frame rates and white balance, and honestly you should be, because knowing this information can take your videos from looking like this to looking like this. Now, maybe you know nothing about camera settings, or maybe you know a pretty good bit. Either way, I promise you're gonna leave this video with a much better understanding of how to create a high-level video. Plus, at the end of this video is a bonus tip that's gonna help you take your videos to the next level. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, first of all, you need to make sure that your camera is in full manual mode. You need to have complete control over everything that is going on in your camera. You're not gonna be able to get the best image out of your camera with it on auto. It's just not gonna happen. So go into your camera and make sure that everything is set to manual. Okay, so now we can get into the first setting, frame rate. So frame rate is the amount of images or pictures that your camera is capturing every second. I recommend setting your frame rate to 24 frames per second. This is the most common frame rate used in Hollywood movies just because it makes motion look cinematic. Obviously, if you're wanting to shoot B-roll in slow motion, you need to increase this, but for a talking head or vlog style shot, I highly recommend 24 frames. Okay, next we have shutter speed. Shutter speed controls how long each frame is exposed to light. If your shutter value is lower, it's gonna be exposed to light longer, and so you're gonna get a brighter image. But shutter speed also affects motion blur. Your shutter speed should always be 1 over double your frame rate, or at least close to it. And seeing how we're shooting in 24 frames per second, our shutter speed should be 1 over 50. This is gonna give us the most natural and cinematic motion blur. If your shutter is too low, the footage is gonna look all choppy, and if it's too high, the motion just looks unnatural. And obviously there's exceptions to this rule, but for right now, let's leave it at 1 over 50. Now let's move on to aperture or f-stop. This is what controls the size of the hole in our lens. You'll see if I lower the f-stop, the hole is gonna get bigger and more light is let into the camera. If I raise the f-stop, the hole gets smaller and our image is gonna be darker. But there's one more really important thing about f-stop that you need to know. The lower the f-stop, the more shallow depth of field you're going to have, aka a blurry background. Seeing how this can make your video look more professional and cinematic, I recommend lowering this to f2.8 or 4. This makes it shallow enough so that you're separated from the background, but not too shallow where only certain parts of your face are gonna be in focus. Okay, next we have ISO. Your ISO controls the sensitivity of your sensor to light. So the higher the ISO, the more sensitive the more sensitive the sensor and the brighter the image. If it's lower, then your sensor is less sensitive and the image is gonna be darker. But there's something really important to add about your ISO. If you raise it too much, it's gonna introduce noise into your image. We do not want that. So it's best to leave your ISO as low as possible while still maintaining good exposure. The way you're gonna do this is by having good lighting. And what is this? A video by me on how to light your videos in 5 easy steps? What? I would check that out if I was you, but not yet. Finish this video first, then go check it out. Not yet. So there are gonna be some scenarios where you're shooting in a really bright area, and even with your ISO at its lowest value, your shot is still gonna be overexposed. But don't worry, there's a few things that we can do in the situation. Number one, we can boost up the shutter speed, but now we know that that's gonna mess up our motion blur and make it look unnatural. So number two, we could raise our aperture, but now we know that that's gonna get rid of our shallow depth of field that we want. So number three, what I recommend that you do is use a variable ND filter. This is just like sunglasses for a lens. All you have to do is turn it and it gets darker. It allows me to keep my shutter speed at 1 over 50 and my aperture at 2.8. All I have to do is put it on the front of the lens and adjust it until my exposure is correct. If you don't own any filters, this is without a doubt the most important filter that you can get. They vary in price depending on the quality, but I'll make sure I'll link this one and a cheaper option in the description below. Also, if you do get one, make sure you get one to fit your largest lens, and then just get adapters to make it fit your smaller lenses. You're gonna save tons of money doing it that way. Okay, so the last setting is white balance. This setting is gonna guarantee that the colors in your camera look the correct way and that your skin doesn't look weird. Technically, you could leave your white balance on auto, but the only issue that you could run into is it changing while you're filming, which could be really distracting for a viewer. So I recommend setting it to manual and adjusting it using Kelvin, which is just a unit to measure color temperature. I know that the white balance of my key light right here is 5500, and so what I do is go into my camera and set the white balance to 5500 Kelvin. Now all of the colors in my camera should be accurate. All right, now for the bonus bonus tip. This tip is gonna help you guarantee that your shot is exposed correctly. You're gonna wanna go to your camera settings and find something called histogram. Go ahead and turn it on. Now when you go back to your main screen, you should see your histogram there, but you might have to press some different buttons on your display to make it pop up. The way you read a histogram is by looking where the data is located. If the data is to the far left, that means your shot is underexposed. If it's to the far right, that means your shot is overexposed. When the data is right in the middle, that means your shot is exposed correctly. Now you don't have to guess if your shot is too bright or too dark. You can just look at the data to find out. Guys, links to everything that I talked about are in the description. If you haven't seen the lighting video yet, definitely go check that out. There's a bunch of solid information in there. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.